So starting on our back, knees bent or straight, you can take a moment to just find your breath. As you're breathing in through your nose, feel the rise of your belly. And as you're breathing out through nose or mouth, the belly comes downward. And we call this just our base diaphragmatic breathing. If you can't breathe in through your nose, it's okay, just keep breathing, however works for you. Maybe you're coming to class feeling a little stiff, a little sore, or maybe you're feeling a little anxious because you've never been to yoga before. It's okay. You are welcome to make this class what you need it to be for your own body. If that means you want to lay down, take a break, you can lay down, take a break, that's all right. If you want to grab hold of a tree or something nearby to hold on to while we're doing our balance stuff, that's totally fine too. Just take an opportunity to check in and see how your whole body feels physically and mentally, just in this real-time space. You can swap mats if you want. It's a little thicker. And so if your legs are out straight, I invite you to bend your knees. And then we're just gonna start with just a small windshield wiper, kind of back and forth wiggle. You don't have to take them very far. Maybe it feels better on your back to just take it a small range. That's all right. So just a little side to side wiggle there with the knees. Just kind of checking in, seeing how the low back and the hips feel with this. And then we can pause in the middle. And let's just reach your left foot up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky, any amount. It's okay if the knee doesn't straighten. You can just reach it however far it wants to go. Maybe take some ankle circles or ankle pump here, whatever feels good. And then we're gonna hug your knee into chest. So just hugging that knee in. And then let's take both knees and hug them in. Maybe a little curl of that low back. And now setting the left foot down, we can reach the right leg up towards the sky, any amount. Little ankle circles maybe, or ankle pumps, or maybe they just want to hang out there. The leg. And then we can hug your right knee to chest. And then let's take both knees in again. And then feel free to set your feet down with your knees bent. We'll move into a bridge here. If that bothers your back, you can always just squeeze the glutes without lifting the hips. So feel free to pick and choose, or maybe you just want to lift part way. As we're holding in our bridge, we can relax through the neck and shoulders. If it feels good, you want to interlace the arms underneath you, you can, and then you kind of wiggle the shoulder blades towards each other. But we're still trying to keep your neck muscles soft and relaxed. And then you can release the arms if they're interlaced and just lower the hips back down. Taking a little windshield wiper movement again, just side to side with the knees, just letting those outer hips and low back release a little bit. And Then from here, we're gonna tilt your small of your back downward gently as you brace and tighten your belly muscles a little bit. So we're taking the arch out of the back for a moment. And we can reach the arms overhead. And now reach the legs out nice and straight, just for a big old stretch. Pressing the small of the back down at the same time, making yourself 2 inches taller in your mind's eye. A deep breath in and exhale. When you're ready, releasing the arms by your side again and bending your knees up. Nice work. From here, let's roll over to a side of choice, and we're gonna make our way up towards hands and knees. Again, feel free to grab extra padding for your knees as you would like. From hands and knees, once we're there, we'll all face this direction, and we can just take a little bracing through the belly muscles as we take your left leg and reach it back long. If you want to, you can add your right arm. And then we can take arm and leg back in, other side. Right leg, left arm. Nice job. And arm and leg back in. And let's take a little child's pose. So knees can come a bit wide-ish, heels together. And then you can rock your hips back any amount. If it feels better to keep them a little higher, that's okay too. You can reach your fingertips forward or rest through your forearms. From our first child's pose here, just take a couple more breaths in and out, noticing how your whole body feels. Knees, hips, back, neck, shoulders, all the things. And then we're coming up onto hands and knees again. And let's find a couple cat and cow. So on the inhale, we're going to drop the navel downward. And on the exhale, we're going to round your spine upward. And if it's a bit much to coordinate all of that at the beginning, it's okay, don't worry. Just see what you notice. Just try, see what you notice. So on the inhale, we're dropping the navel downward. On the exhale, we're rounding your spine, just taking a nice little stretch there. Perhaps you notice areas of your spine that are feeling a little stiff compared to other areas. Maybe it feels good to kind of do a little side to side wiggle too. So like you're turning your head and looking towards your left hip, and then the opposite. And then eventually coming back to middle. Let's give the wrists a little wiggle. We're going to take a little wrist stretch here. So turning the fingertips towards the outside and just keep rolling them around as far as they'll go towards your knees. They may not eventually get there, but that's okay. Take it where your body allows. And then hopefully you can feel a little forearm stretch here. So nice and gentle. If you want to rock your weight towards your heels a bit, just to unload your wrists, that might feel better. And then I like to peel one off at a time, give it a little wiggle, because it'll be like, what just happened? But it'll be okay. And then release the other side, give it a little wiggle, and then we'll take a ankle stretch, and then we'll move off our hands and knees. So tucking toes under, if this feels okay on your toes, and you can sit your hips back towards your heels. And maybe feel a little Achilles stretch in the back of that ankle, maybe a little toe stretch, maybe plantar fascia on the bottom of your feet. If you're not feeling anything, Great, good job. And then we can release and just point the toes ballerina style and just take a little tap, tap, tap. Again, just kind of reminding them it'll be okay. From here, we're gonna tuck our toes and move into a down dog. So toes are tucked, and then we just lift the hips. The heels can stay lifted, the knees can stay bent. So we wanna keep soft bend in the knees if we're taking care of our back. A little pressing of the hands into the floor, shifting your hips. And a nice deep breath in and out here. And then we can walk our feet forward towards our hands. As we run out of space, you can bend your knees a bit more to help you here. And then planting firmly through both legs. Let's rise up to standing. Taking a reach. And then arms to heart center. Let's just pause here. Feel both feet on the mat. Listen to the sounds around you. Just take a moment to take in your environment. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll take a little side stretch from here. So left hand towards hip, and we can reach the right arm tall as it'll go. Planting your right foot firmly, let's lean towards your left. Finding length down your whole side. And back to center, changing sides. So right hand to hip, left arm reaches toe, and now planting your left heel downward as we lean towards the right. And back towards center, lowering your arms. Let's just take a couple shoulder shrugs up to the ears, roll them back and let them sink downward. One more time. All the way up and let them relax and release. Taking arms, let's swing them overhead. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward, bending through your knees to help a bit here. And then let's step your left leg back. We're gonna make our way up to a high lunge. So that left leg can step back kind of long, pressing into your legs as you make your way up to our high lunge. And from our lunge position, just letting the shoulders sink a little in case they're wanting to creep up. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll take arms to heart center. Reaching down towards the ground, we can plant your left hand, and then option if you'd like to lift that right arm for a twist. You can also take your back knee down if you prefer here as an option. So if that back knee wants to lower as you're twisting, that's okay. And now we're untwisting. Option to step back to plank or kneeling plank or child's pose, hands and knees, take a break, all sorts of options here. And then eventually we're gonna meet back into our down dog. So lifting the hips and pressing up towards our down dog. Breath in and out. And keeping a soft bend in your knees here is fine. Walking our feet forward. Soft through the knees. We're gonna find chair pose here. And then all the way up extra reach. Arms to heart center, and we're folding forward. This time, once we're here, stepping your right leg back long, pressing your inner thighs towards each other to help you with that transition upward. And just noticing how this feels compared to the other side. Then we're taking arms to heart center, reaching down towards the ground. Right hand can plant, left arm can twist if you'd like to. You can also take that right knee down if you prefer. And we're untwisting. Stepping back to our plank or hands and knees, or child's pose. This time eventually we'll meet in child's pose. So if you're ready, you can go ahead and lower the knees, totally fine. And we'll rock back for a brief child's pose here. Taking a couple breaths, just relaxing and releasing as you're able. We're making our way back to hands and knees, tucking toes, and down dog. Walking our feet forward towards our hands. Let's bend the knees and we'll find chair pose. And all the way to standing. Arms to heart center. Take a pause. If you're comfortable closing eyes, I invite you to do so. Just notice your whole body. So taking this moment, this opportunity to reconnect from your head all the way down to your toes. Finding your breath. And now if eyes are closed, feel free to open them. And we're stepping our left leg back to find warrior one. So the back heel can come down and the toes are out a bit. And the front leg can be kind of towards the front edge of the mat. And so feel free once you're here, you can take arms wherever they want to land. If we're taking care of shoulders and you prefer to have the arms down like this, totally fine. From our warrior one, we can lower the arms downward, and then we're pulling shoulder blades together, finding our way into a humble warrior. So press into your back foot, and we're angling forward. A little tuck of the chin here. Releasing back up to warrior one. And then we're going to spin left and find warrior two. So in our warrior two, the right knee is bent, and then the left knee is all the way straight. And arms can come out to the sides. From our warrior two, let's reverse the warrior. So the left arm can come down. Right arm can reach tall. If it feels good, you can lean towards your left a little more, or maybe you're just choosing to lengthen down the whole right side of the body. That's totally fine. And then we're coming back through to warrior two, finding our side angle. So elbow can come towards your thigh if you'd like to. You can reach down towards the ground, whatever works. If you want to kind of pretend like you're holding a stick, one arm One has one end and one has the other end. That's another nice way to kind of get a stretch. And then coming back up, warrior two. From here, straighten your right knee. We can turn palms up and then just shift towards your right and down for triangle. So similar to the one we just did, but for the most part, the right knee is a bit straight. And now bending your right knee, back up, warrior two. Arms to heart center. We'll pivot back around to face this direction. So lifting your back heel, you can pivot on around, reaching down now towards the ground. Let's go ahead and lower your back knee here. And we can take our lizard stretch, so both hands on the inside of your right foot. And just allowing your right knee to fall out any amount here. It's okay if it doesn't move. Just want to meet our body where it's at. Through the spine. From here, let's shift towards your back knee. We're gonna take your right leg and just reach it straight out to the side, to your right. You got it. And so the right toes are gonna be facing this direction. Yep. And then the left hip is right on top of that knee here. So we have just a nice angle there to protect all the joints. And then we just gently rock your hips back. And usually we can find kind of a nice juicy inner thigh stretch here. If you want to hang out here, you can, or you can just kind of toggle in and out of it a little bit, depending on how intense it feels and what feels best. Work. And I know it can be a little tough on the knee that's down, so we're going to bring that right leg in underneath us, tucking toes. We'll find our way back up to down dog. Taking a nice deep breath in and out here. And walking our feet forward towards our hands. Can bend the knees a little to help you as you come forward, and then all the way up to standing. Arms to heart center. Take a pause again. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. And regroup, reconnect your whole body. So you feel your feet, your knees, your hips, the whole body all the way up to the head, mindfully and with purpose. And then just tune into your breath for a couple cycles. And then if eyes are closed, we can open them, and we're stepping your right leg back. So if you're towards the back of your mat, you can wiggle your way forward again. And we're stepping your right leg back this time to find our warrior one. And so from our warrior one, the back heel is down, toes are out a bit. We can slowly lower the arms here, drawing shoulder blades towards each other. And then pressing into your right foot as you hinge forward into our humble warrior. And then we're releasing back up to warrior one. And this time from warrior one, we're gonna spin towards the right to find warrior two. So your left knee will be bent, and then the right leg is straight. From our warrior two, we can reverse the warrior. So right arm down, left arm can reach tall. If you want to, you can add a lean towards the right. Maybe it feels better just to lean or to reach upward. And back around warrior two. Shifting into our side angle, elbow towards thigh. We can reach both arms up and down here. And back up, warrior two. Let's straighten your left knee, turning palms up. And then we're shifting left and down for triangle. So again, this one is similar to the one we just did, but with the knee mostly straight. We can tuck the tailbone under a little bit to really get that nice outer hip stretch, low back area. And now we're bending the left knee, back up, warrior two. Arms to heart center. We're going to pivot this direction. And then we're reaching down for our hip stretch here. So just kind of as we're getting into this, lowering your back knee. If your front foot is behind your front knee, go ahead and just help it forward as you're leaning your hips down and forward. And then we can take our hands on the inside of your left foot, letting your left knee fall out any amount. Again, it's okay if it doesn't move much. You get credit for thinking about it. In this position, we're just trying to breathe, trying to lengthen through the spine. Shifting our hips towards that back knee. You can take your left leg out to the side. And then the toes are facing me. The right hip is on top of that knee in terms of alignment. And then we can rock the hips back. Again, you can hold the stretch or you can rock forward and back for the inner thigh on the left. To down dog. And walking our feet forward, bending through the knees, and all the way up to standing. Take a reach. Arms to heart center. And we're going to move into a balance stretch here. So again, or a balance pose. Feel free if you want to hang on to the edge or the back or a tree or whatever, you're welcome to. Rooting through your left leg. Let's take our traditional tree pose. So you can have your right foot to inner thigh, you can have it to calf, you can have toe on the ground if you prefer. I'm going to do opposite to you guys, so if I say right, I'm meaning your right, not mine. Option to keep your hands at heart center, or you can take them overhead. Finding a spot to gaze on that doesn't move in front of you can be helpful for our balance. Just trying to use our calm breath as our body is balancing, as opposed to holding our breath. Nice work. And we can change legs, moving on to the other leg. Amazing job. Finding your version of tree pose that you would like. Always an option to keep a toe down if you prefer. Any arm position that you'd like to combine with this tree pose is fine. Back to two legs. Let's take just a little side to side wiggle there with the hips, and an inhale, overhead reach. Exhale, just let the arms float down by your sides. If it feels good, you can interlace them behind you. If that doesn't work, just reach palms towards each other as an option for a little shoulder stretch. So we can take our feet underneath us, bend the knees, and just reach the arms overhead here. And then just release them down towards the ground when you're ready. We're gonna step back to our down dog here. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll lower the legs, lowering knees to the ground. Let's find a seated stretch. So we can come around to a seated position, taking your right leg out to the side. Again, I'll mirror you, so taking your right leg out. If you have an extra towel and you feel like you're pretty tight in the hips and the back, you can always perch on a towel too, by the way. Just sitting on one can sometimes make that a little bit more comfortable. And so now reaching towards your right leg, any amount. You can find length through our spine here, maybe feeling a little stretch on that outer left side. If you want to, you can add your other arm up and over, or maybe it feels better to keep it down. Either way. And then we can slowly shift our way to the other side, taking the other leg out, finding length through your spine, and then reaching towards your extended leg. Again, option with your right arm to keep it down, or maybe it wants to reach up and over. Unwind. We're going to make our way onto our back again. And we have a couple really lovely stretches as we work towards the ending portion of our class. So lying on your back with your knees bent, let's cross the right leg over the left. So right leg over the left. And then the arms can come out to the sides. And with our legs crossed, we'll keep it figure four style, so we have a space between our legs. Let's let the knees fall towards your left here. And so as the legs fall left, we're just taking a moment to relax and breathe here. We can draw our legs back towards center. Uncrossing, and let's change legs. So taking the other leg across. And now letting the knees fall towards the right. Feeling free to unwind from that. And then we can uncross the legs. Maybe taking one bridge here for a moment, like we did at the beginning. And just lift the hips, notice how it feels for a moment. And then lowering back down. And then we can take a butterfly stretch. So feet together, knees wide. If you prefer a different stretch, that's fine too. From our butterfly position stretch, sometimes it feels nice to tune into our breathing here again, our diaphragmatic breathing. As we breathe in through the nose, we feel the rise of the belly. And as we breathe out, nose or mouth, the belly comes downward. As we're breathing, we're trying to relax through the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. Draw your knees back in if you're ready to come out of this pose. You are welcome to take any other stretches that your body is feeling like it wants to do to complete your practice before our Shavasana. So I'm going to sit up because it's a little easier for me to talk, but I invite you to stay down on your back as you're finishing up with your stretches. If you have an extra towel and you want to put it under your knees, you can, or you can just keep your knees bent as an option too for our Shavasana. Just finishing up with some stretches. Sometimes it just feels good to move the body in ways that it's craving to move. Eventually finding stillness on your back, knees bent or straight. If you prefer to go on your side, that's fine too. We're just bringing our awareness back to our breathing, perhaps following the breath a couple cycles as it enters your deep nasal passages and fills your lungs, and as it exits your body. Allowing yourself to notice physically your whole body. Notice if there are sensations coming from different areas of your body. And we're working to let go of judgment or expectation about what we should or should not be feeling. Instead, just objectively observing. Observing perhaps with curiosity. Maybe now in the safe space, you also notice mentally how you're feeling. Allowing yourself that real-time check-in. Cultivating a sense of gratitude, health, and wellness, both for your internal and external environments. From here, feel free to bend your knees if they're out straight, and you can just take a small little rocker movement in case your low back or your hips, your shoulders feel like they need a little wiggle after being still. And then we can make our way over to a side of choice. Take a breath or two here. And as you feel ready, making your way up to a seated position again. Once we find our seated position, relaxing through the neck and shoulders, but finding tall, upright posture positioning. Relaxing through the hip creases. And then we can take our arms to heart center as we close out our class this morning. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.